And in the same way, because oftentimes what men will say is, well, let's say your rent is $5,000 a month and you're paying $5,000 a month and you date for a year and then you break up. Well, that's $60,000 gone. Okay, well, what are the intangible things that she's brought to you in that year that are intangible but super qualitative?
Hey, this is Raulh of Please Act Right. This young lady goes by the name of Sarah Fontenot. She's going to speak on how men that she's dated pays her bills without her asking. She was once an actress, and now she's on different podcasts talking about relationships. According to Google, she's married. The one thing I do have to credit her for is that she's one of the very few women in Western society who holds women accountable for their nonsense. She's not on men's side. She's all for whoever's being morally correct.
Why should a man you're not married to be required to pay your bills to show his commitment to providing for you? And if you are a Proverbs 3:1-10 woman, you won't require a man to pay your bill.
I don't require a man to do anything for me. I would hope that my essence and my energy inspires him to want to.
Notice how she says she does not require him to pay her bills, but we have women out here making it known that they require a man to pay their bills. But keep listening and let's see if she requires a man to pay her bills in order for her to continue to keep dating him.
I would never say in order for me to be your girlfriend, this is what it takes. What I do know is my track record with men and the men that I have dated, I have never said, hey, I'm a little short on my rent. Can you help me? I get a wire. I don't date men that have to count their pennies in order to be able to provide for me.
So she has dated different men in her life who have paid her bills.
I don't have to count my pennies in order to be able to provide for me. I also take care of my parents and do a lot of stuff for my family. So if you're not at my level or higher, I understand that. I get what that man is saying, but I don't require it. It should be a desire. And if you don't desire it, you don't want to me.
Now, she says she doesn't require it, but if a man doesn't do it on his own, how much you want to bet she walks away from him? Doesn't that still mean she requires it for him to pay her bills in order for her to keep dating him?
I also date very abundant men.
75% of the women in Western society don't look like her, and they do not date abundant men. How much you want to bet Western women will be high-fiving her saying that they only date abundant men, when they know damn well abundant men are not checking for them.
Abundant in mindset, abundant in spirit, abundant in finance, abundant in energy. I want a man that is inspired to say, first of all, it's not like it's much for them, but also I want him to feel like take pride in being like, my baby, I want to take this off of her plate. Or I want her to know that I've got her back. And in the same way, because oftentimes what men will say is, well, let's say your rent is $5,000 a month and you're paying $5,000 a month and you date for a year and then you break up. Well, that's $60,000 gone. Okay, well, what are the intangible things that she's brought to you in that year that are intangible but super qualitative?
This is where the wheels falls off for 95 to 97% of women in Western society. They do not bring anything qualitative to a man's life, whether he has abundance or not. Now, she's going to break down what she says she brings to a man's life that she's dating. Tell me how many women that you know have the capability of doing this for any man, let alone an abundant man.
If your character is better, if your level of discipline is higher, if your level of self-awareness has expanded, if all of these things are happening, if you've created better and stronger relationships with people you never even would have known before, if you're being put into new rooms, what's that worth?
It's worth a lot. But how many women are doing this for a man?
Because by the way, we can't quantify that. So there are so many things for me personally where I would hope that in my way of bringing all the things that I bring while I'm just a girlfriend is the same way that a man would want to bring all the things that he wants to bring while he's just a boyfriend.
Now, if a woman was bringing this type of value to a man's life, where she's putting him in front of people he never would have met without her, therefore expanding his business, which in turn expands his money beyond the amount of money he's paying her bills with, then of course, no man would have a problem paying her bills. But how many men are experiencing this with women in Western society?
What we have to understand is that women are naturally seeking safety and security. Men are naturally seeking an aesthetic because that is showing that their heirs will be healthy. It is subconscious. This is just how we are inside of human nature.
And she would be correct on both. But here's where the biggest problem lies. While most Western women are expecting Western men to come with abundance and pay all their bills, all most Western women plan to do is spend his money. It doesn't matter how much she puts it on him in the bedroom. If she's an habitual money waster, eventually he'll realize she's nothing but a liability, and what she's doing for him in the bedroom, hell, he can get that from any woman. Now let's take a look at some of these comments. If a man watches you do everything alone, he doesn't love you. But yet these women will bring absolutely no value to a man's life. I don't count my pennies, but I'm able to provide for me. A word. That comment is based on what she said in the video. The biggest problem is majority of women are counting their pennies, but they expect a man to come with abundance. Silenced. Yeah, maybe the guy that was interviewing her, but not me. It's natural for real men to want to provide for a woman. She's not wrong on what she said. Notice how that comment is about a man providing for a woman, but she's not mentioning the woman putting that man in places to expand himself in his business. Basically, this comment just said, me, do for me. He said Proverbs 3:1 and not 31. I knew what I needed to know. See, once again, focusing on something small rather than focusing on what Sarah said she brings to a man's life. If he ain't doing it now, what makes you think he'll start when he marries you? We could say the same thing about a woman who claims she's not going to cook and clean until she gets married. How do we know you're going to do it once you get married? It's not simping if you can afford it. If you are unable to make their lives better, leave them alone. Once again, we can flip the script and say the same thing about women. If you're going to be nothing but a liability, but not make his life better, he should leave you alone. They always want to bring the Bible into it, which is exactly the same thing women do to fit their narrative. You know, Bible verses like, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing, when they're far from being a wife material. Why would a man I'm not married to require that I lay down with him, wash, cook, and clean? So let's flip the script on that one too. Why would a woman a man's not married to be required to pay her bills? But my question is, who's waiting until marriage to find out if he actually going to provide? So our question is, what man is going to wait until marriage to see if you're actually going to be an asset to him and not a liability? And the comments go on and on and on with these women being one-sided with the conversation that only pertains to what they gain. The reality is 97% of the population on this earth are broke. And that means 97% of the women on this earth are broke too. So the lady in the video, if she's actually doing what she says she's done with the men that she's dated, putting them in higher spaces, she's an exception. You better believe I would definitely pay the bills if she was putting me in places and with people that were making my business grow to the point where her bills are nothing compared to the financial growth that I've received because of her. And this is where the delusion of Western women happen. They hear women like this speak, but they only listen to the parts where she's saying what the man is doing for her, not what she does for the man in order for him to pay her bills.
If your character is better, if your level of discipline is higher, if your level of self-awareness has expanded, if all of these things are happening, if you've created better and stronger relationships with people you never even would have known before, if you're being put into new rooms, what's that worth? Because by the way, we can't quantify that.
Point of this video is simple. If a woman is doing for a man what he considers to be an asset, then paying her bills is okay. She earned it. But if a woman is coming into your life being nothing but a liability, then why on earth would he pay her bills? For the men out there who will be an asset to a woman, never date a woman who is going to be a liability to you. Shout out to Sarah Fontenot and the It's Giving podcast. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please only date women who are assets? My name is Raulh. See you in another video. So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these two videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.